Hello everyone. I'm out here today in a pine tree forest with a bunch of deadfall all around, as you can see. And I'm going to be on the search for some fire starting materials today. Things that I use when I'm out searching. One, good pair of gloves, because I have girly hands. Two, folding saw. And three, I have my fixed blade on me. Those are the things that I usually have on me when I'm out looking for fire starting materials. But anywho, let's get a move on. This is a nice little hiking trail near the launch that I used to get to one of my rivers near my house. It's a beautiful little area. The main things we're looking for are birch bark and fatwood. Fatwood is a material inside pine trees that is soaked with all the pine resin from the pine trees. And it's pieces of wood that are soaked in resin. They make great fire starters, and they even work when they're soaking wet. I'm not the best at finding fatwood, I'll admit. I've heard several different ways of locating it. Some people bring a hatchet or an axe with them, and they will chop into these old stumps, and they find resin that way. Other times, they look for fallen pine trees that have their roots exposed, and then they'll actually cut into one of the bigger roots and find fatwood that way. Another way is finding a deadfall tree that's still upright, maybe leaning or caught on another tree or something, and cutting into the knuckle bones of the branches where the branch meets the main trunk of the tree, and there should be fatwood in there. I have also seen a person who went through and he just looked for all the half-rotten pine trees, and he looked for all the knuckles from the pine trees that were still solid while everything else was decomposed. And he cut into those, and they were just chock full of fatwood. I think that's all the ways I know of. But there's birch trees all over. Actually, right there is a perfect bit of birch bark. Get all the ants out of there. Right there. Didn't have to cut anything, just laying out in the grass. Can't get any better. There's a shot of one of the rivers that I have access to. This is actually an inlet to a bigger branching river that goes right through my hometown. Doesn't seem like this one's holding any treasure for us. Apparently, if you find a pretty punky piece of wood like this and you get at the knuckles that are still solid, all those knuckles should be fatwood. Doesn't smell like resin to me. But this is essentially what you're looking for, just much darker orange. And when you smell it, it should smell like turpentine. Ooh. Looky here. So those might be hoof fungus, I think they're called. Yeah. So these apparently will take a spark really easily and ember up really well. And you can use this to transport an ember. You put this in a tin can, kind of snuff out the air and just leave a little bit, let it smolder. And these should go for quite a while. We're gonna grab that too. I think it's called a horse hoof fungus. This right here is, it's actually called Little River. This goes for quite a ways north of here. I'd say at least 30 miles or so, and then I believe it branches into the bay. We have a big bay into a huge lake that, I am nowhere near ready fishing into. I like my little lakes, but this leads into the main river that separates two border towns. This is the Little River. Okay, we're gonna put this down here. And then we're gonna cut into this guy. This is a down pine tree. Let's see if there's some resin in there. Pardon me while I shake the heck out of the camera. Does not look promising. Nope. Let's try. So that root I just cut off right here. But as you can see, it goes down to the main trunk right here. Let me see if I can take a chunk out of there and see if that's where it's hiding. As you're cutting, you can smell your blade, the wood that's stuck in the teeth here, and see if there's any resin smell. Fortunately, there isn't. Nope. I think we're barking up the wrong tree. Haha. All right. So, right here, right along the trail, looks like someone took advantage of their natural tree cover right there and made a nice little fort. Oh, wow. They have a nice natural wall in the back. This has to be their doorway. Looks like you just need a little patching up on the sides. Throw some nice abundant spruce over it. Some boughs. You got a nice little shelter. It's pretty sick. Oh, look. Anyone want some wild rhubarb? In case you guys were wondering, they eventually turn into that, and they get a big flower and full of pickers. I'm gonna try a couple of these branches. You want to get the knuckle as far back to the main trunk as you can. Sometimes you can give them a good push on the more rotten logs and the whole knuckle will pop out for you. Oh, there's that nice amber color you're looking for. We may have something, boys and girls. Doesn't really smell like resin. That looks like fat wood to me. Doesn't smell like it though. No one saw that. All right, let's get this big guy and see what's going on in there. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Oh yeah. That's what we want. See how it fades out as you go back, but it's nice and prevalent on this end, close to the tree, right in the knuckle. That's all grade A fat wood right there, leading back into the main tree trunk. I think I want to get this guy too while I'm here. Sweet. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Awesome. Next time, I have to remember to bring my tinder pouch with me to put it all in. Kind of got my hands full. That's a good problem to have, though. All right. Well, I'm just going to make my way out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully, you guys learned a thing or two. If I did something resoundingly wrong, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know. Thanks. Have a great day. Let's end with a nice river shot. Everyone loves a nice calm river. Hello everyone, welcome back. We were just out in the woods collecting fire starting materials. Now we're back at the property and we're gonna process them down to make them easier to use. Here's what we ended up with. We got a nice piece of fat wood right here. Smells like turpentine. Right here's another good piece. That was a nice piece. These were all branches off of a fallen pine tree. There's a good one too. This piece is already all set to go. We also have a couple pieces of birch bark. Always a great thing to add. And we did find what I believe is a horse hooves fungus. That's what it looks like. And I may practice around with this a little bit and see how it works. We'll put that off to the side for now. What we have here is just an old chunk of maple from a tree we cut down last year. It's going to be my cutting surface. We'll start with the birch bark here. Grab out our knife here. All I'm going to do is try to get this into some flat squares. Maybe. There's a good one. Here's one. There's a few sheets. That'll serve our purposes. I'm gonna put the rest away for now. All right. For the fat wood, actually, grab out my multi-tool here for the saw. We can cut a nice even surface. Good enough. All right, so the way to get at the fat wood is get it on a surface, a level surface here, and we're going to do what's called batoning. I'm just going to chip away at the outside of the piece of wood here. Get this to split. You don't need the bark. There's a piece of fat wood. We'll go right down the middle here. You want the blade as close to the handle as you can, so that way it's the strongest it is. It's warm out here. Man. We'll try splitting that piece down again. That's good stuff right there at the end. Alright, let's work on this guy. This is going to be a good one. What I can do is I can work this down even further. And get just this really dense resin-filled wood. Can get this down pretty fine. All right. Let's put that guy away. This guy away. And what we have here, we have several sheets of nice clean birch bark. Oh. Yep. Then, so it's just two of those pieces of fat wood. We still even have some more to trim up over here. But we still have two to go. but this is plenty to get us going for now. That's how I process down my fire starting materials. Pretty easy. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for joining me.